大家好，我叫埃文 Kyle.
This is Evan Q. 2 years ago, on November 16, 2022, he donated an album that recorded the evidence of Japanese invasion of China during World War II to Consulate General of China in Chicago. Since then, he has formed an indissoluble bond with China. 2 years later, in November 2024, Evan Q came to China for the first time, and his second stop was Tianjin.
It's a slower pace of life here. There's a lot of Western influence, which makes me feel more at home here. And overall, this is a really pretty city. I'm really enjoying the life here, and the people here have been so kind to me that...
你是英雄，中国人民爱你。
The kind-hearted people and the safe cities have attracted Evan deeply. He referred to this trip to China as a healing journey. Previously, Evan was running a collectible shop in Minnesota, United States. The appearance of that photo album changed his peaceful life, and the donation even brought a huge impact on his life.
So with my business, I use social media. It's a huge point in how I conduct my business. I was apprenticing under somebody else. I got into this business very randomly in 2019, and in 2020, I started making videos on the industry because there weren't a lot of people making videos about it. I thought it would be a good way to drive sales and to draw intrigue. So I created this program because I have followers all over America. People would mail me stuff, and I'd make a video about the intrigue of what it is, going through, assessing it, buying it for profit, and then selling it. So about a year and a half into doing this, a customer in a different state in America reached out, and they had an old book of photos from World War II, and they mailed it to me. So I got this book of photos, I opened it up. The quality blew me away. Photos of the era are generally in very bad condition, and these were in great condition. But then 7 pages in, it goes from being photos like out of National Geographic to some really bad stuff. So that's really what struck me then, was I thought I might have evidence of a war crime.
Both Evan's family background and educational environment enabled him to have an understanding of the history of World War II. The photos on the album that reflected the cruelty of the war gave him a huge shock, and the term Nanking Road also caught his attention.
Well, I knew about the World War II history both from my grandparents. My grandfather served in the Pacific, and I had heard some stories from him growing up, as well as my grandma, who didn't serve but was present in the area and had a lot of very extreme feelings and anger throughout her life. But then I also, in public school, we studied World War II, we studied the Pacific Holocaust, and then in college I majored in Japanese studies. And obviously World War II is a pivotal point in Japan's history, so we talked about what happened extensively. So I had a background, and when I saw the word written in the book Nanking, it was Nanking Road, but I saw the word Nanking a few times. And that's what caused me to believe, well, maybe this is evidence of the Nanking Massacre.
The contents of the photo album made Evan extremely uneasy. He had once contacted museums in the United States, hoping to further study what was in it, but without any success. Later, when Evan posted the contents of the album on social media platforms, things got out of control. His phone kept running insistently, and his social media accounts also received thousands of comments and private messages in various languages.
Well, I did not expect any of what happened to happen, and it happened so fast, and it got so out of control so fast. When people come into my store to say hi and they bring their young kids, I always caution them. So I started getting threats. People started making up all these allegations about me, putting words in my mouth that I never said, that this was a big hoax, that I was using a war crime to get famous and enrich myself, and it was a very bothersome thing. I was the boogeyman of the internet for a short period of time, and I thought, this is going to ruin my life, this is going to ruin my reputation. It had a massive negative impact on my mental health. I wasn't eating, I was staying up all night, I lost a lot of weight, I had to seek help from a therapist, I still see them.
Threats were often accompanied by bribes. There were also customers with Asian faces who came to him, offering to exchange for the photo album at a high price. Although the temptation was extremely great, Evan still refused without hesitation.
And like I said, my rule is if it has to do with a war crime, then it belongs in a museum, and that's not for sale. That's my integrity. That is not for sale. So yeah, I turned down a lot of money, not just like from all kinds of different people. And it was never about money. And some people offered me a lot, and they were pretty aggressive in continuing to offer more and more. And I just said, look, it's not for sale. In the same way that the vase that I received, the gallery, it's not for sale. I've turned down a lot of money for that. I'll never sell it. It's the price of my integrity, and that's just not for sale.
During this process, a group of Chinese young people strengthened his determination to donate the photo album even further.
They were younger than me showing up at my store, and something that happened almost a century ago, this wound to the Chinese people was still raw to them, and I was not expecting that, and just they had so much passion for supporting me and telling me that I did a good thing that I thought, this is, no matter what, an important part of Chinese history. This book and what I've done has become a symbol of what happened, and therefore it belongs with the Chinese people. So that's why I decided to donate it to China.
After the donation of the photo album, Evan breathed a sigh of relief. The Consulate General of PRC in Chicago wrote in the letter to him, "History serves as a mirror for the people today, and your donation certainly helps inspire everyone with a kind heart to safeguard peace." And they expressed their gratitude for his donation. 1 year after the photo album was donated, Evan posted the digital archive of the photos in the album online. Along with it, he also posted a long article recording his mental journey over the past year. At the end of this article, Evan specifically quoted this sentence and stated that if everything were to start over again, he would still make the same choice. Nowadays, he has taken a new step to safeguard peace. The author of that photo album, Leslie J. Allen Jr., recorded that period of history with his camera and published a book, which contains a lot of real photographs, hundreds of them that were unknown to history. He's now making efforts to explore the contents of these photos. Evan told us that these sellers were all issued these books. He's trying to unearth all these photos. He won't bring them to light, preserve them, and share them.
I'm trying to unearth all these photos. I want to bring them to light, preserve them, and share them, because that's how you learn, that's how you remember history, and that's how you protect it and you don't make the same mistakes. So I'm really hoping I can find more of these books and get them in scholars' hands so they can be appreciated and studied.
During the following journey, Evan not only went to Nanking Road in Shanghai, which had caught his attention in the photos, but also arrived at what was considered the most important stop, Nanjing.
Obviously, it's a very solemn reason why I'm here. Those of you that have seen these interviews before, I'm usually in a great mood and getting everybody to laugh, and there's no laughs to be had here. Now honestly, I'm in a terrible mood. I'm basically attending a funeral for 300,000 people tomorrow. I'm going to be paying my respects to the people and the victims of Nanjing. And I'm hoping, being on the ground here, I'm going to raise awareness. That's really why I'm here, but I need to remind everybody, this is for global peace. This is for moving forward. And I just really want everybody to keep in mind that we can't change the past. We can only learn from the mistakes of the past and move forward into a peaceful future.
In Nanjing, dressed in black and wearing a white flower, Evan came to the monument for the victims in the Nanjing massacre by Japanese invaders on the Yangtze River beach. He also visited the former residence of John Ruby. Evan also posted an article on foreign social network sites to extend his deepest sympathy to the people of China. On December 14, Evan, still dressed in a black suit, visited the Memorial Hall of the victims in the Nanjing massacre by Japanese invaders.
I'd recommend I'd basically recommend everybody come here. Like, I would make it mandatory. It's some very important lessons on display, some very important historical documents, lots of original documents, evidence of war crimes, definitive proof, and some very unsettling things. One thing that really struck me, I didn't realize that it is literally the site of a mass grave, and there are bodies, remains in there. If you read the specific details, they're gut-wrenching, they're chilling, they're just it's literal hell on earth that took place here. And it doesn't put that down your throat. It is a tasteful way of showing the history of what happened, but making it appropriate for all ages. I've had people on the street from other countries walk up to me and recognize me and say, hey, you're Evan Kale, you inspire peace, and that's why I'm here, and I hope I can keep doing that. And I hope this thing that I'm building keeps getting bigger, and I'll probably come here every year and do this. And that completely defeats my purpose, my mission, my ethos of global peace.
Nowadays, his biggest wish is to become an envoy of peace through cultural exchanges.
But one of the things I want to do to foster lasting peace, as a private citizen, not as a government official, but I want to build a bridge of culture between the United States and China and potentially the whole world, because the best way to understand somebody is through the lens of culture, and the best way to keep peace throughout the world is to communicate, and communication and understanding culture hold hands.